Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk. I'm actually on the road because I have to go to Atlanta for work, but it's weird doing Coffee Talk and not being able to see myself. Typically I talk to myself because I'm talking to you, but now Taylor's holding the phone for me. And I've never really done Coffee Talk in front of anybody except for people who were actually on Coffee Talk, so it's totally weird. Anyway, I wanted to tell you something. Yesterday, I woke up and Ace wouldn't walk. He wouldn't use his back foot, and it was so swollen. I mean, a Doberman's paw is very thin. His foot looked like a tennis racket, like it was thin, and then his paw itself was just massive. So I took him to the emergency vet, and they looked in his paw, and they couldn't really find a puncture wound or something in his pad, but they knew it was infected, so they gave me an antibiotic and a pain pill for him that they told me to start right away, which we did. Well, I put a sock on his foot so he wouldn't lick it. Anyway, last night around 7 o'clock, I went into the office to check on him because he wasn't eating, he wasn't walking, and I was so disrupted by it. I was so distracted and sad, and it was like consuming me. And I went in there and I took the sock off, and his foot, it was like an abscess or something in his paw must have ruptured, and it was just leaking all of this infection and blood, and it was just everywhere. And I'm not like the best with that stuff. So Michael got me a towel and I put it under his foot, and I just rubbed. The bleeding was coming from the bottom of his foot, but I was just like rubbing the top of his paw, all the swelling, and literally the swelling was going down as all this infection and fluid was coming out of his paw. And he was such a trooper. Like, I know he was in so much pain, and he didn't snap at me or anything, and I kept telling him it was okay. I was crying like a lunatic, and I flushed it out. Like, I filled up syringes with hot water, and I flushed out his paw the best I could. I was holding him down. He weighs 90 pounds. It's not easy. And then I put Neosporin on a Q-tip and put it up in there and covered it with two socks and a hair tie. I like totally rigged up his foot. Anyway, he finally went to sleep, and I came into the kitchen and I was crying, and the kids were so upset because I was upset. And I said, see, this is why I said I would never get another dog. This is why I said I would never do this again. My heart can't take this. After Jordan died, I said I would never do this again. And now here I am with the dog. The dog's bleeding, and I don't know what's wrong with him, and I'm so upset, and I have to go to Atlanta for work, and I was coming apart, and Olivia was just watching me like this. And Michael goes, babe, there's a teachable moment here, okay? You always look for the teachable moments. You always want the teachable moments. And right now what you're telling your daughter is that when something hurts you or doesn't work out, you run from it. You just don't ever try again. You're never going to put yourself out there again. And he's like, I get it. Jordan being put to sleep was devastating for you. Ace has a boo-boo on his paw. He's going to be fine. And I was like, you don't know that. You didn't see all the blood. And he was like, listen, dogs survive on the streets forever. 15 years they live on the streets. They eat garbage. They survive. And last night when I was putting Olivia to sleep, her and Max, and she had a little friend sleepover, she was like, Mommy, how's Ace? And I was like, I honestly don't know, babe. I'm not a doctor, but I did the best I could, and he's on an antibiotic, and I'm going to take care of him in the morning before I leave. And she was like, do you really wish that you didn't get him? And I was like, damn, this kid doesn't miss a beat. She hears everything. So I told her, I said no. I said that out of emotional frustration. I'm frustrated that he's hurting and I can't make it better. And we do that so often, especially in love. When we are hurt by somebody, we say, I'm never doing that again. I'm done with men, I'm done with relationships, I'm done with marriage, I'm done with whatever, and I'm never doing it again. And it's a knee-jerk reaction, right? But of course, we have to put ourselves back out there. We have to go on a next date. We have to, say I love you too. We have to get another dog. Like, you can't run away from every heartache, because in life, as we always say, the heartaches are going to come. The sadness is going to come. The disappointment is going to come. But you can't stay there. You got to put yourself back out there and know that each love is greater than the next. the last. Mom, it's too early. She's gonna be like, you ruined my quote. That's my mom's favorite quote. Each love is greater than the last. There is something about time that allows us to forget just enough so that we can get started in something new. I remember Jordan, obviously, all the years I spent with her, and I remember how profoundly sad I was when she passed, but I eventually hit a place where I forgot that deep sadness, and I was able to rescue Ace, and it's been the greatest thing that I've done, and I don't regret it for a second. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be all roses and walks in the park, no pun intended. There are going to be days where having a dog is not easy. There are going to be days where I go, this is why I said I wouldn't do this again, but I wouldn't trade him for the world. So if you are considering doing something again you said you'd never do, if you're considering letting somebody in, if you're considering taking the next date or saying I love you too, go ahead and do it if you feel it, because it's how we keep moving. It's the carnival of life. We get on and it keeps going in circles. I'm going to reach out to Facebook and see if I can't get this situation rectified. But if I can't, I'll be back on Facebook tomorrow afternoon. So Coffee Talk will be on YouTube today and probably YouTube tomorrow, and then we'll be back. But thank you so much for helping me spread the word with the people on the Coffee Talk planet. They're probably so confused. I love you so much today. Have a great day.